Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and yes, this is repetitive. I know you've seen this look already, but I did film the second video when I was filming my other video on the makeup look, so I did want to tell you that today's video is going to be all about the itCosmetics CC Plus Oil-Free Matte Poreless Finish Full Coverage Cream Plus Anti-Aging Hydrating Serum with SPF 40. Which is a whole lot to say for a foundation, but I wanted to give you guys my first impressions and just show you guys how the foundation applies to my skin, what shade I got, and how I feel about it. First impressions. Of course, this is going to be a first impression, so I'm going to be trying it on and giving you guys my first thoughts on this product. So if you guys would like to know more about this foundation from itCosmetics and how I feel about it, then go ahead and keep on watching. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into it and start by priming my skin, and I'm just going to use one of my favorite primers. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Oil-Free Primer. I'm just going to go ahead and apply this all over my face. I have some blemishes, of course, that I need to cover up, but my skin has been doing better, and I like it a lot. Alright, skin is primed and ready for foundation. Now I do have the Heavenly Skin CC Plus Skin Perfecting brush with me. I'm going to do my foundation on one side of my face using the brush, and then I'm going to do the other side of my face applying the foundation with a sponge, so that way you guys can see the differences between the two and how they apply on my skin. So this is what the brush looks like. It is really pretty. I have to say, it's really nice and it is very soft. This is my first time actually touching it. It doesn't feel scratchy at all. It feels really, really nice. So the foundation is supposed to be oil-free, matte, poreless finish, full coverage cream, anti-aging hydrating serum with an SPF of 40. So this shall be interesting. I actually tried the dewy version and it wasn't really my favorite. So when I saw they were coming out with the matte version, I was pretty excited. And I have mine in the shade medium, and yeah, I'm excited to try this out. So let's see how this goes. So to start off, I'm already noticing that the foundation is a little bit thicker, a little bit more like a whipped formula. It's not really runny at all. My cell phone's going off. So yeah, the foundation, the formula itself, it's just not as liquidy and runny like the first foundation was. The more dewy foundation is a more runnier, more of a liquidy consistency. This one seems to be more thick. Okay, so right away I can tell this has really nice coverage. It's definitely more of a medium to a buildable kind of coverage, and I really like how it concealed a lot of my redness. And if there's one thing I have to say with applying the foundation with a brush, is that you can see a little bit of streakiness, which I just continue buffing to see if that goes away. And over time it does after you blend the foundation into the skin. I keep calling this a foundation, but I guess it's kind of like a foundation, but they just name it so fancy. So I'm going to show you guys a up close difference between both sides of my face. Alright, so there you are, up close and personal, so you can see what this side of my face looks like and the difference between this side of my face, which is a huge difference. I really, really like it so far. The coverage is really nice. And like I said, it's more of a medium coverage, but I'm pretty sure you can build this up. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and apply the other side of my face with a beauty blender. You can use a beauty sponge. I'm just going to use a beauty blender because that is what I have on hand. And before I apply the other side of my face, I noticed that I didn't use the complete 1.5 to almost 2 pumps, which is nice. And I don't know if this bugs anyone else, but the brush is no longer white, so I know I'm going to have to clean it right away after I finish using it. Alright, so this is the foundation applied to this side of my face with the beauty blender, and I have to say I prefer it a little bit more than the brush. because the way the Beauty Blender applies it into the skin is just more seamless, more smooth, and I just prefer that finish a lot better. You can see up close that my blemishes are still showing through a little bit. I have some acne marks here going on, and a couple of blemishes going through here, and a little bit of hyperpigmentation and darkness and things like that. So this foundation is definitely a medium kind of coverage. And I actually want to try to see and build it up, so I'm just going to take my Beauty Blender sponge and just apply not exactly the rest of the foundation, but just a little bit more to see how well it builds on the face. Okay, so I applied a second layer to my face and it definitely covered up the rest of my darkness, my acne marks, and all those little blemishes that like to peek through. And I really like the coverage. I think it's beautiful. Like, I think it's amazing if you try to build it up and you want more full coverage like I do, because that's how I prefer it. But I believe this is a great foundation if you just want a medium kind of coverage, like quick out the door, and you just don't want to apply too much. I think that if you try to go in with a third layer, it might be a little too cakey looking, because when you apply this many layers of foundation on your face, it doesn't actually look natural. But of course, nothing ever really looks natural when you put on makeup, right? So yeah, I think this is a great foundation to build up, as you can see. And of course, I think it looks dewy because I applied it with the Beauty Blender. And then on this side, it still has some sort of a sheen into it, but I don't think it's fully matte. I know that this one says oil-free matte, but it doesn't look very matte to me, and I use the oil-free Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, so I'm not sure if maybe it was the primer that helped it look a little bit, you know, not dewy, but kind of like a sheen. Like, you can still see a glow. It's not a flat matte. It's just nice, natural, glowy kind of matte. I know that sounds really weird, but that's the best way that I can describe it. So far, so good. It's a very nice looking finish on my skin, and I think it's really nice. This is my first time trying it on camera for you guys, so I wanted to test it out and let you know what my first impressions were, and I really like it so far. I think it's really pretty. It's not like a drying kind of matte, and it doesn't feel heavy on my skin. It feels lightweight, which is a great feeling. I feel comfortable in this foundation. Okay, so for the time being, the foundation hasn't really set down in place just yet, and of course I have to set it down just because I have oily skin and my foundation likes to move around. You have oily skin, you understand. So the next thing I'm going to try out is this powder, and this is what came in the QVC deal, as well as the brush. Now this powder is Your Skin But Better CC Plus Airbrush Perfecting Powder. It's a sheer to full coverage finishing veil with anti-aging optical blurring perfector. And it has SPF of 50. Now before I go in with this powder, I actually want to apply concealer under my eyes. So I'm just going to go in with one of my favorite concealers, the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I know I'm looking a little crazy, but I just wanted to set my under eyes with my RCMA No Color powder, which I actually need to buy another one because I'm running out, and that's one of my favorite powders, okay? Alright, so moving on to setting the rest of my face, I'm going to use this powder in the shade Medium. I was a little bit skeptical when I saw that this shade of this powder was a little bit lighter than the foundation, because I actually think the foundation is a great match for my skin. It blends into my light medium skin tone pretty well. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a big fluffy brush and just pack it into, what I like to do is take the finishing powder, pack it into the powder with the brush, and just apply it all over my skin and set the foundation in place. Let's see how that goes. Alright, so I think I'm done setting my face. I look very ghostly, that's for sure. I don't know how I feel about the powder just yet because for one, it's very powdery. And two, I don't know. My face still feels a little tacky to the touch. So I'm not exactly sure. Like, I feel like this finishing powder is not really a good setting powder just to set down your foundation because my foundation's still feeling a little tacky. I mean, I used a lot. I have to say I used a lot because the logo's pretty much gone, and I just felt like I had to use a lot because you have to set your foundation down. At least I have to. So I'm not sure how I feel about this powder just yet, but my first impressions are like, not really. So I'll have to keep working with this. But it's still feeling a little bit tacky to the touch, which I'm not really used to. I'm used to having that, you know, soft powdery feel after I set down my foundation. So that is it for the foundation and the powder. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. Alright, I am back with the rest of my makeup on, which actually took a long time for me because I was filming another complete video on the makeup look that you see here. I believe this video will be up before this one, which is my Zodiac collection makeup look using all the products that collabed ColourPop with Kathleen. I'm losing my words. It's pretty late at night. What time is it? It's 8:30 at night, so there's not going to be much of an update from me, but I can say that in the time being I was applying the rest of my makeup, I tried to be careful because I didn't want anything to skip because the foundation never really set in place, so I just kept adding more powder with a more dense brush, but I used the itCosmetics by Poreless powder instead to set the rest of my makeup because when your foundation is tacky, you really don't want to go on top with a bronzer and buff too much into it because it'll start to skip and it just won't look nice. The oil-free matte poreless finish full coverage cream. I do love the coverage on this. I am not psyched about the fact that it doesn't set down with that powder, but I will play around with it with another powder. So this is pretty much the finished look. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm just gonna wash my face and take off all of my makeup. I just wasn't able to film earlier today, so I did film pretty late. And so far the only check-in I can give you is now because when I was doing my makeup it took me forever to finish my eyes because my lashes were giving me such a hard time. But anyways, about the foundation, I love that it's full coverage. It's medium to full. I feel like it's lightweight. The foundation is medium to full coverage and I definitely agree with that. With the medium coverage you can still see a little bit of my acne marks and, you know, darkness going on in there, but then I went in with a second layer and I felt like it gave me more coverage, so it's definitely great. You can purchase this foundation at QVC.com, which is where I got mine, at Sephora, and of course the QVC website, of course the itCosmetics website. This foundation is priced at $38. I did purchase mine through the itCosmetics site and it was bundled up with the brush and the powder and I thought that was an amazing deal. And also, don't forget that if you do shop online, shop through Ebates. Always shop through Ebates so you can make some money and get some cash back. I will leave all the links down below if you guys want to sign up for Ebates because Ebates is the best thing in the whole wide world. You just cannot miss out on getting cash back for your online purchases. Also, real quickly, I wanted to give you guys a quick, not a check-in, but a quick little update on my foundation. Since I've been wearing this foundation, it never really looked matte. Like, it never set into a matte finish. It looks like a sheen, kind of natural glowy finish, like a demi-matte. But, of course, with every single foundation on me, it creases around my nose, and you can probably tell right there. It just breaks up around my nose all the time. So yeah, that's my update. I'm gonna keep playing with this foundation because I think that the coverage is really nice. The coverage is there. I just want to play with it a little bit more. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry it was a little bit short and I couldn't give you a further check-in. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Don't forget to give the video a huge thumbs up if you did enjoy it and subscribe to me before you leave. It would mean so much to me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!
Cosmetics, Cosmetics matte. Just so random. It's been a while since I filmed, so bear with me, please. Bear with me. Could we look into the future?